Welcome to the race by race preview for Happy Valley on Wednesday night. No, that's not Paul Elliott, that's Tom Wood sitting in for Paul for the selections throughout the 9 races, and we get things underway at 6:40 with a 2200 metre Class 5 on the lashes on the class drop. Zach Burton has a good record on Palace Pal. Mr. Aladdin, 3 trials since we last saw him. Super Hong Kong has the tongue tie going back on, and then we've got the goals, Fury the 6 and Tiger and the 8. Field of 8 here, Tom. You got a joke to tell during this race? Because you might need one.
Might do. Good to slow. Really looking forward to this as well. Mr. Aladdin there, he's first up off a little issue, a Golden Fairy, nice birdie, Tiger in gold. You've got on the lash. Will it be a bit dependent on if he actually jumps cleanly or not on the lash, because certainly on a few occasions he hasn't. And a Fury in gold towards the back, but a slow start, I think, for the first of the night.
We can narrow it down pretty easily because most of these have raced each other recently, and it was over 2200 metres also. Fury in gold when his best race in Hong Kong ever here. Tom, he ran second, Palace Pal third, Golden Fairy fourth. I guess you have to take something out of this race because there's not many other options.
No, you have to, yeah. Look, it was better from Fury in gold last time out. He wound up over the final stages quite okay. First bit of form he's actually shown. Of course, Kingly Demeanour was up here off the front leading. Golden Fairy, he's a course and distance winner, but he's just been going fairly recently. Palace Pal, I think's probably not without a chance. Super Hong Kong's been disappointing. He hasn't won for a long time, and nice birdie there as well. But yeah, probably Fury in gold reluctantly goes in.
On the lash, she's coming to Class 5 for the first time. He went his best race. This is it 2 starts ago, when 5th over the 1650. If he jumps okay, he's not going to get too many better opportunities than this. Yeah,
and he's got less convictions than most of these, so I'm happy to side with him here. He's a son of Savabeel out of a Pinsmere. There'll be no issues with the distance. Up from 1800 metres off the all-weather, we're not necessarily sure that's his go either, but this run here was, I thought, certainly half decent from him, behind the well-rated Happy Daily, so why not go with the horse that's got less convictions than some of these?
Easy as that. From that replay, straight on top of the selections.
Yeah, straight on top. But on the lash, hopefully he jumps away well, but even if he doesn't, I think he can still probably win this. Fury in gold, Palace Pal, hard to catch, a one-time winner. His trial was pretty ordinary coming into this, and Super Hong Kong. But 1, 6, 2 and 4, turn the page and move on.
As easy as that for race 1. Tom, race 1, number 1 on the lash. From a long distance Class 5 to the Sprint Class 5. It's over the 1,000 metres this one, and we have Dan Attack on the class drop at the top of the book. Modest Gentleman, no weight last time. Ruby Sailing has the blinkers going back on. Country Dancer cops another wide draw. Time Storm has placed 2 from 4 when it comes to being first up. We've got Ace Talent with the hood. The pacifier's off, but the pacifiers with the cows go on. And Windspeed has been a busy horse. 3 runs in 3 weeks, and he has the blinkers going back on from the good draw, Tom.
He sat a lot closer last week too to Windspeeder. He was sort of about 3 horses back on the fence. Philos can lead. Plentiful didn't lead last time out, but did win, so they'll be handy with him again. Ace Talent, a possibility certainly of going forward, and Life of Stone from the outside gate just might be trapped wide. You've got Ruby Sailing in the race as well, who's on that 3 wide line. Country Dance, who's been disappointing. He's likely to go back here from that wide draw, but Philos may be one of the candidates to lead.
We go back 2 starts ago for Dan Attack when he was in Class 5 at Happy Valley. He's had a run since in Class 4 over the 1,000 at Shah Tin. Very close he went this night, Tom, behind Parents Love. Ace Talent, Plentiful, and Plentiful's gone on to win after this.
Yeah, and we know that Parents Love's been racing particularly well. His prior run here was pretty good, of course, Dan Attack, and that he wasn't so good when many people thought he was probably going to be with the lightweight of Brittany Wong down the straight at Shah Tin. You can see that Alice Wong was way up the track there on Ace Talent. He's got a senior rider going on as well in the form of Alexi Bedell, who actually has won on this horse in the past. His only win off a much higher rating than this, so from a good draw, I think he's got claims too.
On we go now, Tom, to the win by Plentiful. Now, not sure if the plan was to ride him with cover this night, but he missed the start and he was heavily backed, and Salutes. Modest Gentleman is still trying to clear traffic.
Yeah, he just couldn't get out here this night, Modest Gentleman. Yeah, they couldn't quite lead on Plentiful last time out, but he's got barrier 1, so he's going to get all favours to be in the right position for Andrea Razzini, and The plan obviously was to lead last time out, but he just wasn't able to do so. Wind Speeder again on the back-up, ace talent there. Don't want to see Modest Gentleman again though, but he's a big chance in the race.
Up we go to Chung Fa now for a trial for Time Storm. He's had two. We haven't seen him race since June. And Luke Ferraris rides him for David Hall. Just one win from 25 though.
He's had arthroscopic surgery to both front fetlocks for some fragments to be removed there. And that's him buried back on the inside there in the gold and the blue cap, moving up into the lead division now. It was a good trial, I thought, from Time Storm. He's gone well first up in the past, 179 days away. This trial plus one other where he ran third. So I know he's not won over 1,000 metres, just a one-time winner, but I think he's got claims off that trial.
Does he go into selections? Whereabouts?
He does. He's down the order here, marked for fourth, but I went with Modest Gentleman on top as the top selection, the horror show last time out. Dan Attack goes in, McDonald and Richards, Time Storm in fact third. And I will throw in same to you, maybe 1,000 metres is the question mark there, but he should get a good run through from barrier 4, loomed up and hampered late behind Island Golden last start. So 2, 1, 8 and 6.
Tom keeping the race order running. Race 1, number 1 into race 2, number 2, the selection. And race number 3 upcoming. Now we go up in grade for this to a class 4, and it's over the 1,200 metres with Bowser. Placed here course and distance last time. Thriving Brothers has the blinkers and the tongue tie going on. Beauty Lights had just the one start. Joyous Lily has his first start. He's had 4 trials. All Eyes on Me makes his Happy Valley debut. Solar River, no blinkers, but the visor goes on. Speedy Smarty comes into the field for Bulb Emperor, and we've got Spicy So Smart. 2 runs this season for a win and a third, and he also, Tom, likes to go forward.
Yeah, so he's the main candidate to go forward to here. Island Golden, another one that is drawn wide, however, but he should be able to come across and maybe sit parked there on the outside. Solar River not far away. Speedy Smarty gets into the field here, does Speedy Smarty, but he could be trapped to 3 wide with Thriving Brothers. Newcomer in the race is Joyous Lily, but hasn't shown a great deal at the trials. Beauty Light in his one and only start went back, did Beauty Light, and he has come up here with barrier number 2. So maybe they've got some options there with him, with Telecom Dragon not far away either.
And here is a Telecom Dragon running second last time, just unable to beat Yichong Spirit, who had been in good form, and Spicy So Smart gave a good sight for a long way in front, but in the end it just has to settle for third.
Yeah, Matthew Chadwick just sort of got ahead of the last 100 metres here, did Spicy So Smart, so it was a decent effort from him. Telecom Dragon there in the trail, finally he was able to clear that traffic, and he had to cut down to the fence at the 300 metres to get off the back of another runner as well. So it was no match for the winner there, Yichong Spirit, but he looks to be one of the leading chargers here for sure.
What about Bowser, Tom? He hasn't had too bad a season. He had some wide draws on the all-weather to overcome, and the first go on the all-weather he ran second. Then he was down the track behind Sunny Darling and came to the turf and chases home Street Conqueror here.
He's been racing well, has Bowser, without winning recently. Brenton of Della rides for Ricky Yu. He was a bit keen in the early and mid stages of this race in the trail, and he did loom up, but just wasn't quite good enough to go with the other 2 in the race there, Street Conqueror and also Master of My Universe. But from the draw, barrier 7, hopefully he gets some cover. I think he will, and he's got claims as well.
Class 5 winning form around Island Golden. He beat Super Eagle just in this race. He was up outside the speed. We'll see 1 or 2 others in this field run in the race prior, but what about coming back up in grade? Can he trouble this lot?
Well, he has won in this grade before. I think it was one of his very early starts here in Hong Kong, but took him a long time to get that second win on the board, and he only just clung on here as well. He's probably going to have to work a little bit from barrier 10 to get across and maybe sit 1 off, so I'm sort of steering clear of him here.
We'll leave that replay right where it is then. Who are you going with in the third?
6 here, Telecom Dragon. Pretty good run, I thought, from him last time out. Gets an opportunity here with James McDonald from barrier number 3. I think Beauty Light is an improver in the race. There was a bit to like about his run last time out. I thought Beauty Light, even though he was beaten 4 1/4, Beauty Destiny, Storming Dragon have won. Bowser. And the other one that I've thrown in is number 2, and that is Thriving Brothers for Douglas White and Alexi Pouchon. May need some luck from barrier number 11, but the blinkers are going on. His prior run over the 1200 behind Awesome Treasure when beaten favourite, I thought was reasonably useful. So 6, 4, 1 and 2.
Tom with Dennis Ship to record a race-to-race double across races 2 and 3 at Happy Valley. And race number 4 now. This is a 1200 metre Class 4 race, and Big Red, we haven't seen him for a while. He was the last start winner. It was going back to last season in May. Bit Superstar is on the class drop. Fatal Blow, he's a last start winner, carries an extra £5 for it. Happy Trio blinkers off. Visor goes back on. Affirm the likely leader. Ragnar has been back to the trial since his last start, and Valhalla placed course and distance behind Gallant Valor last time. With Affirm in the race, Tom, he's going to be joined in front by Fatal Blow. Yeah,
Firm likes to go forward, but just a matter of whether he can see it out. Fatal Blow's been good in his 2 starts, including winning last time out. Bingo Babe has raced handy, but hasn't been able to go on with it. Now, Sight Happy might be able to sit a bit closer from the run here. Sight Happy, he's in barrier 5, had to get all the way back last time out and found some trouble. And Move Far, he's drawn wide, might stay there. Big Red has that inside draw, but not really his favourite sort of distances, Big Red.
Fatal Blow is where we go first. Tom, wide a draw for him. He's had gates 8 and 7 or 6 and 7 East 2 starts to date. Barrier number 10, but he's shown plenty of ability in a short career.
Yeah, they planted him up on the speed again last time out, up outside the leader, and he was ridden along to get up into that position, but he still had plenty to offer at the end of the race here, a Fatal Blow. So, look, he's drawn barrier 10. It looks a little trickier again, but he's one of the main protagonists here. It's not an overly strong race. He beat the perfect match there, and I think he can go very close in this too.
And the horse that is going to accompany him in the lead on the speed map is Affirm, who had to sit outside the leader here and stayed on for second. The Big Chestnut, he still only won 1 from 17, despite the fact he's not normally too far away.
Yeah, and Andrea Azzini into Ricky Yu here. He was up near the pace. I think if it comes down to a battle between Affirm and Fatal Blow at the pointy end, Fatal Blow will let Affirm go. Of course, Storming Dragon comes here late to knock him off. It was still a good effort from Affirm. It's up 17 pounds in body weight, so he's clearly done well since his last start, and that takes him to up over 1,200 pounds now.
And you're going to make a case for this horse, Tom. Bit Superstar is his name, a member of the Pierre Wrong stable. He's had 2 trials since we last saw him. This is the most recent of them, when 5th behind Gummy Gummy.
Yeah, I think he's a big chance here into Class 4 for the first time. He's been freshened for this. He's had 2 trials. He led up in this barrier trial, ran 5th. His prior barrier trial, he ran 2nd. But you can see here, inside the last 200 metres, he wasn't asked for anything over the final stages. That's Mark Newnham's Super Infinity running on, and the purple and pink there into second placing. And out of a good form race, Sugar, Swift Ascend, Divano won Sunday. Gustosissimo's been racing well and winning at Happy Valley, so I think there's plenty of sort of keys there for him this week.
And on that wrap, he's your on-top selection.
He is on top is a Bit Superstar. Lyle Hewitson from Barry at number 8, ahead of Fatal Blow. Sight Happy, unlucky last time out was Sight Happy. Only jumped fairly and then found a fair bit of trouble in the straight a week ago, and Affirm makes it in as well. But 2, 3, 10 and 8.
And that is the preview for race number 4. It is the first leg of the 6 Up. Feature race on Wednesday night is race number 5. It's the running of the Hong Kong Golf Club Centenary Cup for the Class 4s, and it's over the 1,800 metres. Northern Beast has his first look over this distance on turf. Healthy Golf has the cheek pieces off the Omen tip in the race. Dragon Stars placed 2 from 3 course and distance. Can't Go Wong's on a 7-day backup. Me Time, last start winner Class 5 up in grade. And Kingly Demeanour, he's won his last 2, won 1,600 metres, or won 1,800 I should say, at Shartin, and then last time over 2,200 metres also at Happy Valley. Tom, and he's going forward with Dragon Delights.
And they definitely are the 2 that are going to be up at the pointy end. It's just a matter of what they do with Dragon Star out of his wide stall at barrier 12. Satirical Glory had every chance, I thought, in the trail last time out. I think they'll be a lot closer with Northern Beast. He was probably about 10 lengths off them in the run last time out, Northern Beast at some points of that last contest. Courier Magic from the back, a Polar Fighter as well, and last start winner Me Time there also.
Straight we go to Nick with the rider of Kingly Demeanour. It is Keith Young.
Keith Young, you've got some handy enough rides coming up on Wednesday night. One of them is Kingly Demeanour, a horse that you've got a good relationship with. He's been in super form, this horse.
Oh, he's really good, and he's improved a lot this season. Seems very easy horse to ride, and just go forward, and he will not stop.
You mentioned going forward. Did you put that down to the improvement in form? I mean, ever since he has started going forward, he's looked really strong off the front.
Yeah, I think like after Tony took off the hood on him, and he's been doing great ever since.
His last time out, he was strong, wasn't he? I mean, they came to challenge him, but he kept fighting for you in the manner of a really willing horse.
Yeah, he is like in the last 200. I thought that outside horse gonna catch me, but then when he hears the other horse came, he just kicks again. He has a great heart.
He's going up in grades, Keith, on Wednesday night. Obviously, it does get a bit tougher, but does he feel to you like a horse that now he's got his head in front a couple of times? There's perhaps more of an element of confidence there, and a horse that might take the step up?
Yeah, definitely. He seems like he enjoys to be in front, and he loves the challenge, and he always gives his best.
Certainly does. Talking of giving their best, you're certainly giving best at the moment. We wind the clock back a week. There was a win on IJC night as well. Things are going great for you.
Yeah. Great. Always great when you have put so much effort in your training and your study and in preparation, and it will pay you in a good way. And also always grateful for the people who support me and give me advice.
It's always great when he wins, and he's having a great season, is Keith Young. And that was Youth Power winning last Wednesday night. Tom, on we go to Courier Magic running second at Happy Valley. Can't Go Wong's a Wednesday night regular as well. This over the 1650, so an extra 150 metres for them to compete over in this race.
Oh, I've left him out this time round. Can't Go Wong. I've tipped him, and he hasn't prevailed recently. So leaving him out to this time round. 1800 metres may be a question mark. He's tried it twice at Sharton a couple of times and hasn't prevailed there. But Courier Magic ran on well from back in the field last time out after jumping a little bit awkwardly. So he definitely makes it into the back end of the first four.
And Ben Thompson takes the ride on him. He's got a really good record on the horse, does Ben. This is a polar fighter, Tom, who runs fourth. This race was over the 1650. Hasn't been with David Eustace for too long. Fourth run for the stable. He's gradually getting there, this horse. Raced beyond midfield, and thought once he got to the outside, and he quickened up quite nicely here. This race, of course, won by Take Action, who's in on the program as well with the Ninja Derby. And as I said, I think he's getting there. He's been racing well enough out of the new stables, so we're definitely not the worst from barrier 7, I feel, this week. What about Escape Route? He runs 8th in this race we're about to see. Dragon Delight, who's going to be up on the speed. He finishes 8th behind Turin Warrior. This is a busy finish, but he's got a much better draw on Wednesday night. Wow, I think you probably question the form out of this race a little bit in saying that, because, well, there was no early pace on to here, and Dragon Delight dictated off the front, and he probably should have pushed the button earlier than he did down the side, because that's probably what's cost him in the end. An Escape Route in that he's well rated. His last one came off 57. The early fraction didn't suit him last time out because he was back in the field, but I've got him on top, but I think it might be a bit of an iffy form race. OK, so Escape Route for you, though. Yeah, we'll take him on trust here because he is well rated. He's got James McDonald. Early tempo didn't suit him last time out. Northern Beast, he'll be a lot closer in the run. I think he just got too far back last time out. He did make some OK ground. A Polar Fighter and a Courier Magic from the back. But 2, 1, 7 and 10, taking on trust that form around Turin Warrior. It's an open race number 5, which just happens to also be the first leg of the Triple Trio. On to race number 6 now. Class 4 over the 1650 metres. Happy Daily last start winner, but carries an extra £9 for it. Sturdy Ruby has a better draw. Snow-A-Lot made some late ground last time. The Prime goes up in distance. Take Action, extra £5 for his last start win. Good Luck Win has the blinkers going back on. 5 foot's best run in Hong Kong last start. And Tradition wears blinkers again down the bottom of the list, with Good Luck Win the leader here, Tom. Well, there's, again, no obvious leader in this race here, but Good Luck Win could be that horse who did lead in one of his earlier starts here in Hong Kong, going back to race 573 of last season. 5 foot, they planted him a lot closer to the pace last time, and it certainly worked for him. Ninja Derby won't be far away in front of Take Action. The Prime made some ground last time out, but he's drawn the outside, so might have to go all the way back to the rear here. But Good Luck Win in a race that does lack an obvious leader. We have an interview, first of all, for race number 6. Nick has done with the rider of Sturdy Ruby. It's Karis Teeton. Karis Teeton, Sturdy Ruby, one of your rides on Wednesday night, race 6. He's a horse that you haven't ridden so far this season, but you do know him from the back end of last, and he's always raced well for you.
Yeah, Nick, thank you. It's nice to get back on him. He seems like, he's ran pretty well this season. Of course, his last season run was good when I rode him. So with that draw, that's give him a chance.
I guess you'd be buoyed as well by the fact that he's already won a race this season. Manfred seems to have him in pretty good form, so he certainly looks a live chance.
Yeah, sure. He's always shown that he's a horse that was always going to get better. And I think this season has shown that he's taken a step forward, and looks like he's taken his race pretty good. So Manfred have the horse in a good shape, like you say.
Have you had a chance to settle him in track work? I know you haven't trialled him or anything, but how's he feeling in his track work?
Yeah, I sat on him a couple of days ago, and I was really happy with the way he's going. He seems in good shape.
You've ridden Take Action in the race. He lines up as well. You actually won on him last time. Was there a choice to make, or was it just a case of bookings, etc.?
Yeah, it was actually funny. I was booked on some other horse, and my horse didn't get in, and ended up picking up Manfred's horse. So sometimes things can work good. But yeah, Take Action won pretty nicely last time, and he's a horse that seems to come on from each of his runs this season. So he's definitely one of them for me to be watching out for.
There is Karis on Sturdy Ruby. Tom, happy daily with winning form. This is the first time he's won anywhere other than 1,400 metres at Shard 10, but the extra weight, can he do it again?
I think he's certainly a chance again. He's still below his top winning rating, which was 62 going back a couple of seasons ago. So 28 days on from this run, and he's still quite well rated. Just barrier 11 is the negative. Obviously, this time around he had sort of raced back and came up wide around the turn there, and it was quite an easy win in the end. So always liked the horse. Took him a long time to get another win, but not impossible that he can't get another.
5 foot improved coming to Happy Valley last time. Tradition pulled up with mucus in the system after this, and Super Treasure would need to improve. What are the form around 5 foot and even Tradition out of this?
Well, it was certainly a lot better from him, wasn't it, 5 foot, because they had him a lot closer to the pace. He'd been going back and sort of not really doing a lot, but he was up from a good draw of barrier 2, which he's got again this time around, and was defeated by Lucky Touch, who's been defeated since. So I can see him figuring here was a much improved run from him, so he's definitely in the mix.
What are your top 4 for race 6?
Actually gone with Ninja Derby here. Of course, we saw him in the replay just a few moments ago. This horse here, I think the winning and losing of the race was on the turn last time out for Zach Purton. So I think he's looking to atone here on this horse. The eventual winner, who was Take Action, stayed towards the inside, and he had to come up and around another horse. So 8 to beat 2 Sturdy Ruby. Not easy to catch Sturdy Ruby, just a one-time winner, but he's drawn well. Take Action and Happy Daily. So 8, 2, 6 and 1.
And that is the preview for race number 6, the Class 4 over the 1,650. The first of the Class 3 races is race number 7. It's over the 1,000 metres, flying high at the top of the book. Sports Legend first up. Since May, he's had no trials to prepare. Youthful Spirit has the blinkers going on. Fast Responder has the hood off. Shadow Roll removed and the blinkers on the first time. Candlelight Dinner no hood. Midori Glory no blinkers. Heroic Master is a 3-time course and distance winner, and Happy United has the pacifiers with the cowls off and the blinkers going on. Just a correction, 2-time course and distance winner for Heroic Master. He's a noted leader over the 1,000, especially Tom, Youthful Spirits.
He certainly is, and he'll be right there again. Midori Glory won't be far away. He was behind the pace last start, but was seemingly disappointing. Happy United raced handy, but dropped out of it in the straight. Candlelight Dinner, there is an option for him to maybe get up outside the leader. If he can't, he could be cast 3 wide the whole way, and flying high from his wide draw will have to go all the way back. A note on Atomic Force last start as well. He missed the start, so where he ends up, hopefully midfield if he can jump away cleanly.
We head to Andrea Razzani now, speaking to Nick around Heroic Master's chances.
Andrea, the pace certainly keeps up and doesn't relent here in Hong Kong. We're off to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Race 7 looks a good competitive 1,000-metre race. You're riding Heroic Master. It was a really good effort last time.
Yeah, he ran very good the last day on the straight course behind a horse that was very impressive. So back to Happy Valley, which he's run well there before, with a good draw, which is a big thing, and hopefully with quite a bit of pace in the race, we can get into a nice pitch. It's a horse that comes from just off the pace, and hopefully if the pace is strong, he could be finishing very good again.
That was probably the most notable thing, Andrea, is that there is obviously plenty of pace, always is in these types of races, and for a horse like him, he's got that sort of slingshot ability, hasn't he, Leighton?
Well, he has. Like I said, that last run, it excuses the time before, and we probably tried him on the dirt, and just didn't quite go for him. But no, with a good draw and plenty of pace, he's a horse. Like I said, he's a very good finisher. Hopefully, he can. I'm sure he'll finish again, and hopefully get on top. It deserves to, because the way around the last day, he hopefully should be competitive.
Yeah, all of his form, of course, around it. Now, he's drawn 2. Now, traditionally, obviously, we'd say Happy Valley 2 is a very good draw. Perhaps if they are pressing forward a bit, but for a horse like him that will be held up, plenty of cover, is that a good thing for him?
It is, yeah. Like I said, he's a horse that he hasn't got a lot of early speed, and it's not a horse you can rush him early too, because he want to try to save his last bit of kick towards the end, and it's a good draw. If we get lucky in running, I think he could be very competitive.
That is Andrea there, Tom. We move on to our first replay, which is Youthful Spirits, who looked home for a long way in this race. Atomic Force, as you said, gets an excuse after just making a bit of a mess of the start last time.
Well, if he can get a little bit of a breather in front to Youthful Spirits, I think he could be there at the end of the race. Blinkers are going on, a new gear change for him, Mark Newnham and Luke Ferraris. He just looked to peak on his run, sort of the last 150 metres last start. Run down by Healthy, of course, who's come out and won again since. And after being slow away from the start, Atomic Force recovered well there to run 4th.
Now, this is a while ago, this replay, Tom, and a bit's changed since this race. Midori Glory has a new stable, but Sports Legend we haven't seen since then, and we can't show you a trial because, quite simply, he hasn't had any.
No, so he's up 19 pounds in body weight. We'll get Jenny's assessment on race night of how fit he looks first up. But from his track work, he looks to have been going okay. He jumped well, raced wide, no cover, and still considering all the ground he covered here, I thought it was a pretty brave performance from him. He also lost a plate in this race as well. Beauty Wave there was a bit unlucky on Sunday in the international sprint, and Heroic Master is now, no doubt, one of the leading charges on the program as well. So there's still plenty of form around that race.
There is indeed. Emeritus Spexo, been a while since we've seen him. He's normally a regular on a Wednesday night, certainly over the last few seasons, but John Size sends him out again for the first time this campaign on the back of 3 trials.
Normally takes a few runs to sort of come on, does Emeritus Spexo. Nothing wrong with his trial up at Chung Fa, but I've got a question mark about certainly his fresh record, and particularly over 1,000 metres. He has had one go over it and did place, but all 4 of his wins have been at Happy Valley over the 1,200 metres, so that's where I'm waiting to see him.
We'll pause on him, Emeritus Spexo. Who are we going for, though, in the 7th race?
With number 10 here, Mark, and that, of course, is Heroic Master, Frankie Law and Andrea Azzini, off the back of that good run behind Fast Network, who'll start probably a short price favourite at the weekend at Sha Tin down the straight. I think he's the one to beat. Sports Legend. I think he's ready to run a race fresh. Atomic Force, as long as he can jump cleanly, and Youthful Spirits as well. 10, 2, 3 and 4.
And for Treble Punters, race number 7 is the first leg of the late treble. Race number 4 has a couple of last start winners at the top of the book. It's a 1,200 metre race, and those winners are Yichong Spirit and Circuit Duffy. Brave Joy makes his debut, 8 trials, 3 this season. Lucky Generations, Shadow Roll Off, Hood and Pacifiers go on. Travel Golf, No Tongue Tie, new stable also, he's now with Mark Newnham. Shinkansen, the Shadow Roll Off, the Cheek Pieces go on, and You're My Everything, the blinkers are back on again. The speed map here has Rewarding Twinkle leading Tom, courtesy of a trial win at Chung Fa.
Yeah, he's led in his 2 races to date as well, has Rewarding Twinkle, and he'll have to come across from barrier number 12. They've got Happy Tango, Super Elite, he couldn't get out last time out. Brave Joy's making his debut, has been jumping well and not really asked for too much in the straight in those trials, Brave Joy. Unison there, California Deeply might be a little closer than sometimes he normally is, and Travel Golf last time out, he was very much up on the speed, but he's got barrier 11, and he certainly raced a lot further forward than they had intended him to do last time out, so he probably goes all the way back.
He's had 3 trials for the new stable too, has Travel Golf. But we start, Tom, with the winning form of Yichong Spirit, who worked to this victory. He'd been knocking the door down, Another whitey short of draw, bit of extra weight, but he gets away to win by a length over Telecom Dragon.
4 extra pounds. He was covering some ground down the side there as well, and he was probably back of midfield, but seemed to quicken really nicely into the home straight here, did to Ying Chong Spirit, and did pick them up sort of with 100 metres to go, and maybe one with a bit in hand, I thought, as well. So it was an easy win. I think Telecom Dragon can hopefully frank the form earlier in the night, and he's one of the major players here for sure.
It's a good start for the replays. Other winner to come out of the race going forward into this race is Circuit Duffy, who had a perfect trip on the inside. California Deeply has been running on as he normally does. What of these two, Tom?
Things didn't all go to plan for Circuit Duffy in the early stages last start, because he was bumped heavily at the start, copped a real heavy bump there just leaving the gates, but he was able to get up onto the speed, and then he was happy to let them go and trail, and he was able to find when he heard the other couple coming at him, particularly there the horse on the outside, of course, who was top time. So he's going up a little bit in the handicap here, but his trial I thought looked pretty good coming into this too.
Shinkansen normally running on, ran 5th here, maybe not quite as sharp as what he had been at the end. Rewarding Twinkle ran off a bit on the home turn. He hasn't done too much on race day, but he did trial well up at Chungfa recently.
He was tad keen in the early stage of that trial, but still won it quite well, and you saw him there hang out around the home turn quite badly. Shinkansen, 1 win from 18, hard to catch. He was wide the first turn, and still wasn't the worst of efforts after that. So he goes into the back end of the top 4.
We're with last start winning form though in the second last.
Almost. I've got the top 3 in here, but siding with California Deeply now. He's not won in a long time. Hopefully it's good enough pace here. Just needs to, hopefully, where the speed map has got him, he can sort of sit in that sort of position, not be too far back, because he always gets a long way out of his ground, but he's overdue a win. Got very close behind Team Happy 2 starts ago. Circuit Duffy's in, Yi Chong Spirit, and Shinkansen as well. 3, 2, 1 and 10.
It's the California connection of Avdallah and Cruz, successful with totality on the weekend. Tom going with them, but California Deeply in the second last. Race number 9, the Sea Eagle Handicap, and we wrap it up for the night over the 1200 metres. No, make it 1650, race 8's over the 1200. Simply Maverick has a much better draw. Hemron, drawn barrier number 5, Nearly Fine and Noisy Boy both go up in trip. Chain of Gold comes back in distance. Ican's racing well. Glorious Journey won his best race in Class 3 last time. Satanta gets back. Midori Fuji's on debut in Hong Kong. And Alaki Glory running over the 1650 up from the 1200 of his few recent starts. And a slow pace here, Tom.
Yeah, no leaders, no pace. Simply Maverick, though, can go forward. He's drawn a lot better than he was last time out, which was barrier number 12. He's got barrier 1 and he has raced handy in the past. Ican normally sort of presses on and races handy, but he's probably a bit closer than he'd ideally like to be, and so too Hammer On and Ivy Lee. If there's no pace on, Glorious Journey might have to get going early, and you've got Our Lucky Glory, Nearly Fine stepping up from 12 to 1650 as well, but definitely not a lot of speed on in this last race.
We have Frankie Law joining us right now. He spoke to Nick around Glorious Journey.
Frankie Law, race 9, the final race on Wednesday night. You're going to saddle Glorious Journey. That was a really big run last time out, and he just touched off.
Yes, last start I thought he would win, but outside horse too strong, and but he won good, yeah.
You say you thought he was going to win. I mean, it looked to all intent and purposes that he was going to win. I mean, he was probably in front with 100 metres to go, and then obviously Jumbo Legend running you down. I imagine Matthew probably thought the same, did he? He probably didn't expect to see that horse come past him.
Of course, but that horse quite strong, so he just passed really quick. So I think can't say anything, yeah.
I mean, focusing on your horse, of course, he's a pretty handy horse around here, I know, and these conditions suit him well.
Yes, I don't mind the draw because he's take it back, and last quarter he should be a strong finish. Yes.
Yeah, you've got gate number 9, so I guess a bit of pace will certainly help him.
Yes, fast pace should be better. Yeah.
You've got a few drawn gate 9, haven't you? We were just talking. You've got 2 or 3 in barrier number 9 this Wednesday night.
Yes, Wednesday night. I think I have 3 or 4 drawn 9. So is he lucky for me or not?
He's gone up a couple of pounds, Frankie, to 65. He should get competitive off that mark, shouldn't he?
Yes, I think last season still thinking Class 3 is still okay for him, but now I think he's much mature. I think he can win in Class 3, yeah.
That is Frankie Law there talking a glorious journey. Tom, we move on to Chain of Gold over the 1,800 metres. He ran second and Hemron ended up running seventh. Now this is a race where Hemron ends up making some ground late. You've been with him plenty of times. What about in this race?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with him again. There was only a length and a quarter covering the top 8 in this race. I'm not saying he would have won, but I think he certainly could have placed had he have not been tightened up last time out as well. Hammer-on. Chain of Gold here, of course, been knocked off late by Whittingstick. Never been a real big fan of Chain of Gold, but I think he is more suited here by coming back to the 1650.
He has finished down the track since that race too, has Chain of Gold. And finally, Ican fourth and Simply Maverick fifth. Simply Maverick makes some late ground. He was drawn wide this night, and Ican's been holding his form after that win. Hasn't been threatening, but hasn't been too far away.
These are the two that could make all up in front as well, and he's likely a good run through here for James McDonald and Ricky Yu. Simply Maverick, he's off a mark of 70-80, last one off 66, jumped awkwardly, went back towards the inside, stayed on, and Ican wasn't beaten far away there as well. Of course, Leviro picked that up in the steward's room, but yeah, I think they're both right in this.
Who wins the last?
Number 2, Hammer-on, siding with him again. Unlucky last time out. As I said, not saying he would have won, but I think he would have certainly finished a lot closer had he not been tightened up. Glorious Journey makes it in. Simply Maverick from the draw if he's up on the pace, and Ican there as well. 2, 8, 1 and 7.
And that is the Happy Valley preview for Wednesday night. 9 races, and the first gets underway at 20 minutes to 7 o'clock local time.